So, hello everybody. This is Cat Sparrow. Today I'm recording at the nice Anantara Palm Beach Resort in Dubai, so I might be having a bit of background noise from people in the pool. I'm going to do an account assessment on what's the actual name, MD31, to see what types of recommendations I can give here to improve. First thing I actually saw already here is you've got three, maybe you've got more, I don't know, cash production facilities. And I'm fairly certain, like all of us, you run a major deficit operation, which means you actually burn 1 million unsafe cash per hour with the current settings. Um, and you have no means of actually producing cash. It's just not possible. Even with like all the research that you can do and upkeep reduction, if you maintain a big army, as in multiple ops that allow you to attack, defend, reinforce, whatever, you can't make a surplus cash. So these two spots, even though you've invested lots of cargo to build them, they're completely wasted, which means you should demolish two, even though it hurts, I know, but you've got to do it, and and build something else. Here's the demolish. When you go into the details, then you tear them down and you build something else. You do have, so let me just get rid of this, and I'm actually not doing it in a smart way, because when I'm on the collection I should always be on the best settings for growth. You do have here the sets. I assume at this point that they are correct, but I'll also have a look at that. Let's see, you've got the builders thingy, so you spent some money in the beginning. You've worked on your kingpin set, which is nice. This set gets the buff on resource production when you have two pieces. That's good. And you actually have this one is useless for growth because it's got absolutely nothing. None of the others have either, really. So here you really need the bonus. Really, it only makes sense once you have another blue piece in order to get the next buff. So since you've developed one piece to blue, which I wouldn't have recommended, I would say do everything in white, kingpin, then do everything in green, then do everything in blue, because otherwise you lose the buff sets, and you want to get as many of them as possible. I know the gun is tempting for the building speed, if that's, and the T10 crew members, and I actually made the same mistake in the beginning. I made this to orange, and then I had everything else on white until I had that developed, which obviously takes a while. And that's not actually smart. So you should try to keep them balanced in order to get the buffs as you actually develop it. And I would say do it to orange, don't do it to gold. Focus then back on your main equipment, and then maybe at a later stage do it to gold, which I haven't done either yet. You've got nicely developed production facilities. I know you're on level 30. You need to get your Hitman Hotel up. You're wasting the ability to get unique coins, and you do have the production buffs, which you don't seem to be using, or I don't know if you're waiting for Elite or something. From Mansion 30, Hitman Hotel 30, I would recommend to actually start using them in order to get more Hitman coins, because they're a major bottleneck in the game. Then you've got hospitals. You've got still this guy. I don't actually know how you get him or how you get rid of them. It must be, I thought it was part of any of the plots, but you still have him even though you've gone through the plots, so I'm not quite sure. I have it on one of my farms, but nowhere else. So it's actually quite interesting. What else do we have here? Didn't fix your wall after the cop raid, huh? Hitman Agency, still on a low level, but that's okay, because you actually really need to develop and build this only to access certain type of developments. You've got development and construction services at max, that's perfect. Even training, which I don't even have. Yeah, that is awesome actually, which does mean probably you've focused a little bit less on some of the other services, and now you're working on equipment. Equipment speed up change doesn't make sense. Also, these I wouldn't necessarily develop any further, because you've got lots of checks for trading, so it's not really that critical. I would rather start spending some time on getting the additional emblem slots here, which you don't have yet. You don't have that much Hitman coin, which is also because you haven't been using the double buffs and you haven't fully developed the last one to level 30. And then you can unlock these slots gradually. One slot, because you need to get these 3, and then you can unlock a slot, and then you need to get this. Maybe costs you 12 to 15,000 Hitman coins for every slot. They get a little bit more expensive as you go further down, but it's definitely worth it. And then obviously you can have an extra slot here to do more engravings. This is a disaster, right? Level 1 and level 2 emblems. Maybe you don't have anything better. We'll have a look at that in a minute. You don't have anything on this. Okay, interesting, because you have a better one. But why do you still maintain this? Maybe you maintain this to do the Terrorizer set, which you have started on with your pants. You don't have, well, you do have it, but you forgot to update your set after synthesizing it. I will do that for you. But that's good. And yeah, you can maintain that 25 orange piece. Don't destroy it. You can keep it for later synthesizing one of these 2 Terrorizer pieces up. This is probably why you've kept it, although it might also just be a coincidence. Yeah, keep bringing these up to gold, right? It's really critical. This is a wasted augmentation here, which you probably already know, because it's expensive to get them back. You do have quite a lot of gold, which is nice. So you've collected or you've purchased. So you don't really need to worry about this so much. Still, it costs a lot. It costs 5,000 to undo augmentation on level orange, so it's painful. This is level 30, that's fantastic. Let's look at your business agency. You are Yakuza. No, you are Cosa Nostra. Okay. And you've started developing family members here, or somebody has. Don't do that, because it's way too expensive in family gold for what you get for it. But you have done these cheap developments. You must have had quite a lot of family gold. This is really good. You're not finished here fully. This is probably what you're working on, which I would work on, but you're almost there. And then you started developing this. You actually haven't, on your main family, you haven't done these ones, which are still pretty cheap. So do the shadow members and shadow battles also on your main, and then develop family battles and family training gradually. And then at some point you've got to have to get started on this once you want to get to T11s. But we know it's quite expensive, and we have to look at how to get maximum maximum family gold. Don't do the slammer every day, right? With your best settings. This is your main source of coins besides the family production center. You do have farms, I know that, so you should actually level up your farms family business zones and then attack them. You can attack 3 of them once a day. Don't collect them on your farms. Use your main to attack them. So I would recommend to find yours, and I know you've got a bunch. I just need to find one. Here, MD Farm. It's on level 18. That's not bad. So if you attack it, you can just go with bikes 3 times a day. You don't need to actually gather. I wouldn't do that because it takes a while. I just go in 3 times a day in one of mine. I've got them on level 23 and 22. At level 23 I get 140 family gold per attack if I don't gather, if I just withdraw straight away. That's an extra, if you do that times 3, it's an extra 500, 140, how was my math doing? 420 family gold times 7 in a week, right? That's 3,000 extra. Since it's one of the major bottlenecks, it's definitely worth it if you do farms to use this. 18 is good, right? Do them up as much as you can. Align them with your mansion size on the farms, and develop your farms at least 3 of them to a level where you can get high family business zones, to be able to do this mechanism in order to get more family gold. We got working on this, good. Then let's look at the crew members. Well, this is really poor. You should at least acquire enough substance Z to do 1 or 2 of each level every day, because it's the cheapest, right? Because it resets every day, as you probably know. So if you don't have a lot of it, just do 1 or 2 a day on every level in order to get these up. You've done more on biker. You've done hardly anything here. I mean, 15 is still more than nothing, but you should still at least do 1 or 2 every day on every one of them, because really at the end of the day, every percentage everywhere matters, right? So this is, I would call this underdeveloped, because you've kind of focused on one and you've neglected the others, and in order to do that cheap, you need to do it slow and steady every day. Oh yeah, this is just because I've logged into this device for the first time. Right, you've got these. So the family point acquisition speed is an important one. I would save up for that, and then I would do the next one on the next level as soon as I can, just because this type of gold, is also essential to buy blueprints or fragments for vigilantes, for your family vigilante, and the faster, the more you can get this, the better. And it's increasing the limit is a different topic. So you have a certain maximum of points that you can acquire every day, and for that, the best way to do it, let me just see, where is the info here, info details, rules and benefits, is attacking mercenaries and street forces. So I try to get to a maximum of my point acquisition every day, which requires quite a lot of energy, which if you don't spend money, you usually don't have, because I spend gold on getting energy on attacking forces, but it gets easier and cheaper with higher street forces. So at the moment the city is at level 33, soon it's going to be 34, then soon it's going to be maxed out. So you get 1,528 points for attacking, and I've heard, even though I haven't really seen it on Flavio's videos somewhere, that if you use the Blue Devil car and you attack a street force, actually also the family reputation that you get doubles. So that would mean you get 3,000 per attack, and you have a maximum of 260,000, which means if you do the math, and you can deduct a bit because you get your daily chests, and you might be attacking some mercenaries, which I would always recommend to get some extra blueprints, some augmentation cards, some emblems, that's a separate conversation which we've had. Then you need to attack about 70-80 street forces a day of the level 35 to get this to a maximum in order to be able to develop your family. And then you need to do that every day if you can. I can't do it every day, but I do it most days because I don't always have the time to do this. But this is the only way really to get it up. I mean, there's a trick where you could actually attack your farm troops, then go to your farm, heal them, then go back, attack them again, which also gives you family reputation in order to level up. Of course, it costs you resources and speed ups on your farms, or at least resources, and then you might wait. So if you don't have the energy and you don't want to spend the energy on attacking the street forces, if you're a non-spender but you do have farms, you can still max this out using this attack trick on getting the reputation every day, because eventually this is more important than getting the resources to build from the farms. So something to consider. Then let's look at the plantation store. You're up to the next level soon. You're pretty poor here, which means you're spending on something, but you're not spending on fragments, which is interesting. What have you been buying? Okay, speed ups. Don't buy the speed ups, you shouldn't be needing them. Maybe don't even buy the emblem chests unless you have surplus here. buy the energy every day. Yes, if you need the VIP, buy it. I don't need it. I always get it from other things. And you're working on getting your dog. Okay, that's why you are. That's why you are poor here. You've, so that's going to be over soon, and then you need to get the fragments every day. First of all, they help you on the weekly quest to get vigilantes, and also actually you may not have noticed, but you can develop your vigilantes, and you don't have it yet here because you haven't been consistently buying the fragments. You've got get upgradable skills here, and one of them is hospital capacity, which is specifically interesting. So once you have developed this, what is this? You can buy them with gold? Oh, I didn't know that. I know that you can do that for Charles, which is actually the only way. I wouldn't do this, right? I would just gradually buy them through the plantation store. And I still do it, even though I have her on 5 stars. I do it every day because these can be upgraded to like a level 7, and then you get an extra 40,000 hospital capacity, which is really good. And you can also still do Catalina. Same thing. This is not so critical, right? Because you this would only affect her, but it still helps on attacking like level 4 mercenaries or high level street ops. And it's a nice to have. Plus, if you don't have any other vigilante to develop, you can just develop her. But this is really, this is an extra. I'm still doing it though. You do have your skill sets. You do have the 3 skill sets. You've watched my other videos, or you've just done it well. You've developed only 1 tree. I would eventually switch this from cargo to arms, because you get a lot of cargo from your farms, but not so much arms. Plus, you need a lot of arms to develop some of the higher level things. This is perfect. The rest is great. I would also call this perfect up till here. Yeah, this is brilliant. You've got shooter here, and you haven't done your bulkers, and then you went up to rescue, and you haven't done the crime ops. Okay, I would do this differently. I would reset this. I would just go the bulker track with the bulker defense. I would go the biker track here, not the shooter. I would go the bulk defense track here, not the health. I would go the biker track. Yes, I would go the biker track. I would max this out. And if I then have more points, this one doesn't really make a lot of sense. You only want to step through this in order to get to death fight, which would probably be illegal in this city. So it's also then not so crucial to get there, but eventually you want to go further down here, but then you reset again and then you go there. So max this out, crime ops capacity, and then once you have more points, develop your bulkers. So do the bulker health here and do the bulker health here. Then I think on the next level you would be able to reset again and go to death fight, or get to the next level beyond death fight. So then it's interesting, but this is a bit of a wasted skill. Shooters are not so important compared to bikers and bulkers, so I would do this differently. Let's have a look at your Godfather collection. So you got the Godfather gun. You don't have anything flying around here. Yeah, I also don't do the augmentation up and down for everything, just for the important events. Sometimes for the real, sometimes not. Sometimes for the slammers, sometimes not. Sometimes I can't be bothered, but for city contest, for actually killing event and those types of things, you would definitely do it. And you do also have, which sometimes happens if you do the equipment sets, is that you can't switch anymore because you've got something stuck here with regards to coins. So it's possible that you could actually get a better weapon than your current Godfather gun here, but you're not. And I actually still use the Godfather's code, which you can actually also get because it gives you attack and defense. And then I augment this, right, let's do the skip to however much I can. You need more coins, right, but 7 isn't bad, and you could get 1 more and then you're out of augmentation cards anyway. Then this gives you 10.8, and then obviously you need to do the alterations here to get a better value. This does have interesting values. You can get like, I think I've got bulker attack and bulker defense. If you're intending to get attacked, you might want to get the crew attack, crew defense. And since you are on Cosa Nostra, maybe you want to actually do this until you have your biker stats. But if this gives you an extra 10 to 12% on bikers, on top of the almost 11% on both, then that's much better than actually having the gun, right? Because the gun actually just gives you 8% attack. So you kind of leaving behind here the 8% defense or 11% defense that you could already get. On your training set, yeah, that's good. And the diary and death row probably doesn't make sense unless you're currently training T9s for some reason, which you aren't. So actually there's a better car, and since you have the white stallion, you actually also can get the queen, and queen is better for training T10s. It gives you 24% on T10s, where the death row gives you only 18%. So you're leaving some percentages behind here, and I think the queen is actually also still better for T9s, 31% for T9s, right, where death row gives you 24. So yeah, absolutely. Then sometimes you use Lady Silver to get the skill CD time. For example, if you do the rescue skill, activate this first, then click activate rescue, then go back to your attack car. That reduces the recovery time for the skill, which you don't have here in your often used Roadstar, so I'm assuming you're not doing that. And then White Stallion, where is White Stallion? Is it actually already a classy? Yeah, that's good, so you've got some good points here. And you're very close to the Blue Star, that's also nice. And then these other ones aren't that far away either. I'm close to Phoenix now, so you're not that far behind, you're just 6.5 gold coins behind. But this is decent, so let's look at your emblems. Yeah, that's what I expected, right? You don't have a single purple. You need to grind those Reapers whenever you can. You've got this, okay? This is one of the most useless ones. I would still use it. It's not useless, but it's really for only certain types of special things. I use it, for example, when I do the casino event. I do those attack gatherings where I can be attacked by other people, and I do like 3 maybe, and then I actually switch my set to have as much hospital capacity as possible, so that I can get, if I get attacked, they land in the hospital. Because obviously, with your current hospital capacity, you've got, 210, nice. If you activate this skill, then you have, 240, which is not gigantic, right? But then actually this can be switched, I guarantee you, for you on the gold necklace. No. But maybe that's just because I've augmented this. So let's undo this and have a look. Close, right. You need to get more Godfather coins to get this mofo. This still helps, right? Because it also increases wounded capacity, and if you do some good alterations here, you can get some more even. Wounded capacity, an extra 31,000, and then if you've got that together, depending on how many forces you need to get attacked, you can maybe get 3 ops out, maybe just 2. Your hospitals aren't very well developed, which you have a lot, but you haven't got them very high, which is actually something that you're working on right now, which is good. So get them higher, get more capacity for these types of events. Even if on city, you don't plan to be attacked, this is actually still handy. And what you're doing in those events eventually, and this is part of the game mechanics, you're trading temporary items for permanent items, which means you lose troops if you get attacked, but you actually get honor points, which you can then redeem for maybe Godfather coins or maybe Roadster points. And troops can always be rebuilt as part of the game to lose them. What you want to try to do is you lose them for something valuable. So it's better to lose them there than necessarily lose them in city events. in order to get more special things. Obviously get your daily chests every day. I assume you're doing that. If not, try everything to do that. You want to have those. Got 3,000 blue vigilante boxes. Why don't you use them? What are you waiting for? What special event? And this is nice. What are you spending this on? Okay. I wonder what you're planning on doing here. What you're intending to develop. But there's some work to be done here. And you've also got these. So you've got a lot collected here, so you must be planning something. You must not be certain what to do with it. Even these you haven't used. You've just been collecting them. Okay. Let's have a look at babes, and then I'll be closing this soon, as to not wait and make this too annoying for everyone. You've developed some here with the cheaper ones. It's the right strategy. Cheap first, one level first. Yeah, you can still do these. They don't cost that many augmentation cards or jewelry cards, and you get them through the slammer or through money. And then you do the cheap ones one level first. Yeah, like this one. Don't mind me doing this. And then these. Yeah, you still got to develop your babes. There's quite something to be done here. Do them level 1 first, level 2 first, actually also on shooter, not on vehicle, and then go to level 3s. You've got Laura, it's your family babe, it's good, you've got her almost naked. You missed the, sorry, this is so wrong, but she actually looks quite alright. You didn't get the Christmas babe, which is a shame, although you were playing at the time, so I'm not quite sure what happened there, but you missed that one. And you're on the way to getting Marie. Use your gold to finish around here every day when it's on, because then you get 5 fragments every day. So you need an extra 2,000 to 3,000 gold every one of the 7 days in order to get the round completed. And sometimes you also get these ones, which is nice, right? And sometimes you even get some gold rebate here. And then you get the 5 fragments every day, and then you get this to Marie, 7 days, 35 fragments. You've got 43, so you need 4 more events because you haven't really done it consistently, and the event is on about once a month, so which means in 4 months you will have Marie. And after that, still keep doing it, because there are 2 more babes that you can get, even though you need to unlock Angela first in order to get those. And obviously, in order to unlock Angela, you will have to spend some money somewhere to get those babe fragments. And sometimes there are things on for, for €5.49, you get 4 fragments. It's not brilliant. You can calculate how much it will cost you to get 150, but then sometimes also there are these rebate events where here it's the ultimate purchase, right, where for purchases you get more rewards. So here, for example, you can buy 250 jewelry cards for $5.49. In this case, if you would buy something else, like 4 packs of something, you will get another 250, which is equal the value of 1 more pack that you would have purchased otherwise. So if you purchase, you can also try to purchase smart and try to benefit from these purchase events, because once you start purchasing, it actually makes sense to try to maximize the effect of the purchases, which means buy the small packs, not the big packs. And then like something like this, is a pack that I would buy every day if it's on, because you get the 1,500 fragments and 3,000 gold. And then if you buy, I usually buy 2 a day, 2 packs a day somewhere. I would never buy the more expensive ones because they don't make sense. They get more expensive as you buy more. And I always buy the ones for this value, because they're good money, value for money. And sometimes you get these limited time ones. Sometimes you even can kind of trigger them when you try to do something which you can't do. Let's say you go through all your vigilantes and you try the star up, and then you go here and you try, and you don't have the actual ability to do so, and then sometimes this limited time thing pops up, and then you can buy 1,500 fragments sometimes for €1, which is crazy. It doesn't always work, and I don't usually have the time to do this. But if you want to try to save money on doing it, you might want to spend the time. And if you learn how exactly to do it and how long it takes you to get there, and if it was worth it, let me know. This is good. I just learned that from SVIP 10 you get an extra shop, which is interesting. And then you can use your excess to spend it there. Try to get as many SVIP points as possible. And if you do the grinding to get the family reputation every day, right? Which I do with the Blue Devil, right? So we'll go here, we'll use the Blue Devil, we'll go to battle. Oops, for you it's here. And then, can you do 33? Sorry, I get all this crew. Okay, you need usually 1,000,000, and you probably don't have the power. If you do the crime ops capacity on the skill, you will have enough. And even here you. Oh, sorry. Oh, you got 97 family gold from that attack, right? On your. And I got the 33. Yeah. So I was even lucky in this attack. I get the VIP points doubled. So this attack just gave me 2,200 VIP points. You don't always get them. Maybe every 5th to 10th attack. But you can grind them in order to get more SVIP points in order to be able to get this up, which is something I would try to do as much as possible, because you benefit. Oh, just got 10 million. Congratulations. You benefit from it when you to develop the family reputation. Yeah, but then when you get the store, you also can spend your excess on buying emblems, for example, or emblem chests, which is nice in order to get this sorted, because this is terrible, right? I think we can agree on that. I don't know why you haven't removed the 1s and 2s, because you at least have blues, probably because you were listening to me and trying to go to purple straight, because removing blue costs you as much as removing purple. But you still have a way to go, because you're very far away through just collection to get purple. And then once you have your Kingpin set developed onto, I would do it to orange, then you apply the growth emblems, right? And the growth emblems for me, the relevant ones are the gathering speed, not cash, but you do gathering speed, cargo, arms production, metal production, and so on. And I also do the training speed. So that, because the same set is part of my training set, so you accelerate the training speed. So that's also, well spent here. Don't do training capacity really, but do training speed. And because for investment, which you have a Street Force set. Okay, that's interesting. When you do investment, I don't know if you do it manually, then put together the best possible set. I wouldn't do this one. I would replace this with the investment set, because attacking Street Forces basically just means use your combat set and replace the car, which I just do manually, like this, and then it's fine. Then that's the Street Ops attack set for me, and then you have the other set free for investment, and then because there is no piece that I could find anywhere here on the accessories which gives you any benefit on investment acceleration. I have it on all the others. I actually made myself a blue Ring of Despoil, where I did attach those emblems that give you cost reduction in investment. The thing is, you might not have them because I think you only get them from purchases. But if you start purchasing here on a certain type of event, you get them as an extra rebate. And if you actually get to that point, then you should make yourself this piece where you attach the investment cost emblems. Right, so equipment, this is good. Yeah, also vigilante equipment is kind of shit because you can't use the trick there, which means you need a gazillion of these blueprints, which are really hard to get in order to get anything decent. So I'm not quite sure yet, how long that will take, and if there's another way. I haven't found another way. Cargo freighted. Yeah, you should probably still work on your gathering speed here in order to get. Yeah, you can forget everything about cash. You just need to go through it to do whatever you need to do in order to progress. Sometimes when you don't have money and you need to do something, you can develop some of these, especially here. This is interesting. And then here, this is actually interesting for getting attacked. They're not too expensive, so on some occasions these are handy to do. Yeah, here's, you should obviously try to get here, but this is a way to go because you still don't have an elite one. These ones get ridiculously expensive, but this one, for example, is not, except for arms, and you haven't done this yet. So you've got some smaller things left behind here. Don't just do everything on biker just because you've got Cosa Nostra. Right? Everything matters except for vehicle. That's just not so much. And here, yeah, cash. I know cash is a thing, because really you burn all your cash anyway, which means if you attack your farms, you need to spend your cash. If you don't spend your cash, you'll lose it over time. The safe cash you don't lose. Only T12s eat into safe cash, which is something that we're all far away from. Which means I actually buy cash wherever I can, except for the plantation store because I'm not that desperate. But I do the exchange here every day on everything that's free, because sometimes you can get like 3 to 4 million safe cash here a day, which I can then just keep and stack up, because actually cash is an issue. When you would run with this deficit operation, you can't collect cash, like gather it, you can't produce it, so you need to get safe cash, which means from events, from this one, for example, from the Ribbon Factory, once I had the interesting ones, which are the fragments, and I wouldn't do the metal because you get it from elsewhere. I actually did the cash, because cash you can't gather. You can only rob it from farms, and then you need to spend it immediately. So you need to work that. You need to time that. Yeah, there's some cash. Here we go. In order to make that work. And then what else do we have here? Let's Hitman. This was good. Yeah, you got to get to this right, and do a bit more here. But I know it's a coin problem. It's not so much a resource problem. But for example, this is really cheap. It's really short. Why have you not done this? Right. So there's some things that you need to catch up on here in order to get some extra stats up. And yeah, I think this is a well done account. First of all, or second, lastly, I think this is a well done account with regards to the optimizations. There's very little fundamentally wrong. So well done. I just see something here, which is nonsense, which is you've got so many vigilantes on lower levels, but you haven't got anyone really developed to a point where they can participate well in this vigilante arena, or where they can even wear vigilante equipment. So you've just got Nick, who's wearing nothing because you have no vigilante sets. Maybe we still go into that. And you want to develop Adriana to level 35. You want to develop Bruce to level 35, and then because you get Catalina eventually at the last, because you want to develop the extra skills, and then of course you will focus on 4 active vigilantes, which means 2 on the wall and 2 on your ops as a minimum. That way you want to start upgrading these extra skills at some point. So obviously that's then can't do them all because you need a gazillion of fragments. Even if you buy, that takes a long time. But you want to have your main crew do that well, and which means they need to get to level 35. So don't waste it on getting someone on level 8. You could have spent that on getting more developed on a level 30 to 35. So use your vigilante experience to develop that. And yeah, you know the Vigilante sets. So I have actually made some pieces here of the Street King set, because it's actually passive skills. So the way that I understand this, if any Vigilante wears this, and I've tested this, then this applies to every op that goes out gathering. And it's not a lot, right? 5%, and this is on gold. It's just 0.62% when it's on white. But it stacks, which means you could do 10 pieces, put them on 10 Vigilantes that are level 20, or in this case actually level 10, I think, for the Street King set only, and then you get 6%, or 6.62%. That starts to matter. But of course you would need 10 of the weapon blueprints in order to make this. And you can also do the developing set, which is not too dissimilar, and I actually have some pieces of this because they increase your productions. And again, you know, even if it's on white, but it stacks. So if you make 10 developing cash boxes, you get an extra 11.25% of development of cargo production across all of your production. So really, really small optimization, not a primary focus, but what to do with these blueprints other than that. And the problem here is that this synthesization trick doesn't work. You can only synthesize them with other pieces of Vigilante equipment. So in this case, it's actually better to have, and this is the way I do it, I hope it up, which means you can't possibly collect 45 of these. It's going to cost you a lifetime. Maybe you do it. I do maybe purple gems. I do 1 blueprint, and I actually do 60 of these. Of course, you need some time to collect them, but if you attack a lot of mercenaries in order to get extra coin, blueprint fragments, elite blueprints, very important, major bottleneck now for you that you're mansion 30, you have a chance to not just get a white piece if you do this. Of course, you lose the gems and you lose the special gems here, but you get all of this faster than getting blueprints. So I hope that maybe, and it's worked. I've got a blue one once, I've got a green one once, and then you know, through that eventually maybe you will be able to get a gold pistol. Now the thing is, a gold pistol together with a gold axe you can actually buy for one package for, you know, $4.99, $5.49, whatever currency you're on. So I actually did that, and the mask and the battle suit you can get for $10.99. Then the shoes and the silver pendant, is that the right pronunciation? They are more expensive. That's more difficult. I think they cost 20, and that might be something where you say, well, that's not really worth it. So the 10 and 15 you could do, and then maybe on the shoes and pendant you can try to hope it up until you eventually get it. Obviously, if you want to get really good, then you need to buy something that allows you to get the really powerful sets here. I haven't done that. I don't know if I will ever do it. And it's going to cost a lot of money to get these up to gold, because you will need a lot of pieces. You will need gold gems, and you'll need a lot of this, and you know, sometimes it says, oh, you can buy 5 for $100. Yeah, so I need $600 to make 1 piece, or what? Fuck me. So, you know, if you don't intend to ever do that, then you might just want to work on your other 2 sets with these fragments and with the hope trick. It's not a trick. Yeah, very nice. Well done. I'll stop it here and carry on the good work. Where is the record stop button?